A quick note before we start, there is profanity going forward, so change the channel if it offends you. All right then, let's do this. You hear this shit, Lester? Trump's taking his case to the Supreme Court because some fucking hack judge blocked him from deporting gang members. MS-13 type scumbags, TDA, Venezuela, all of it.
First off, it's an honor to finally meet you in person, Vinny. I've been hearing about your courtroom fireworks for years. And yeah, I heard about the shit they're trying to pull on Trump. And this Judge Boasberg, or whatever the fuck his name is, this clown pulled out the Alien Enemies Act and tossed it like it's expired milk. Like it's got no weight. Fucking guys blocking Trump from flying these thugs the fuck out of here.
The Supreme Court now is given by the government two things that they have to decide in the coming days and weeks. First, as you mentioned, it's the stay on Judge Boasberg's order, whether or not that is going to actually happen. You remember, this is the order that blocked the Alien Enemies Act from being used to deport Venezuelans from this country to El Salvador. The government's also asking for what's called an immediate administrative stay of Judge Boasberg's order, which would immediately remove the order from taking place, basically get rid of it, and potentially lead to planes taking off to Venezuela any minute now, as soon as the Supreme Court were to decide this.
First of all, the Alien Enemies Act is still on the books. If it's unconstitutional, then take it off the fucking books. But it ain't. Supreme Court didn't strike it, Congress didn't repeal it, so what's the fucking problem?
Exactly. And don't tell me this ain't a national security issue. These TDA gang animals, they're not sneaking in alone. They got other countries helping push them over the fucking border. That's invasion level shit.
And the court's already ruled on this kind of thing. Executive authority. Plain and fucking simple. The president gets to make these calls, not some judge with a daughter in a nonprofit defending MS-13.
Solicitor General Sarah Harris writing today that the Supreme Court should decide once and for all who gets to set policy for sensitive national security cases like the Trump administration's recent deportation efforts using the Alien Enemies Act. Harris writing to the High Court today, this case presents fundamental questions about who decides how to conduct sensitive national security related operations in this country, the president or the judiciary. The Constitution supplies a clear answer. The president. The Republic cannot afford a different choice.
And Trump's right. This court system, all of a sudden, getting all emotional over these fucking criminal aliens. Oh, no, don't deport the murderers. They might be misunderstood. Fuck that.
Cash and Pam and all them trying to do their fucking jobs. And this fucking judge steps in like he's some kind of fucking superhero trying to save the villains. Trump said it best. They gotta let us do the fucking job we were elected to do.
We hope this court system that's become so active all of a sudden in trying to protect some very, very bad people of crime, they have to stop. They have to let us do the job. We were elected to do the job. They shouldn't be interfering in that. It's a very sad thing that's going on. Nobody can even believe it. They'd rather have them stay in our country. These are murderers in many cases and people about as bad as we've ever seen. And they have to let us do the job. They have to let Cash and Pam and everybody else do their job.
And tell me, how the fuck did this judge get 4 fucking Trump cases? 4 out of 18 fucking judges? This shit's rigged worse than a fucking Vegas slot machine with electrical tape on the payout.
And his daughter's part of an NGO giving legal fucking aid to illegal immigrants, including MS-13. Can you believe that shit? That ain't just a conflict of interest, it's a whole fucking soap opera.
The Solicitor General straight up asked the Supreme Court to make it clear who the fuck sets policy in national security situations. The president or a fucking activist judge with family baggage?
Constitution answers that real fucking quick. The fucking president. That's who. These demo rats acting like Trump's gonna show up in your kitchen at 3 a.m. and vanish you like it's fucking Cuba. It's all bullshit scare tactics, Lester.
Would challenge Judge Boasberg to reread the Constitution and understand that his actions and the actions of this D.C. appeals court, which is essentially doubling down on the unconstitutional behavior of Judge Boasberg, to reread the Constitution and understand Article 2. If they did that, they would have thrown out this case from the beginning. We have full confidence that the U.S. Supreme Court will stand for the Constitution and stand with President Trump on this matter.
Now, Congress could fix this too, but half of them got their heads so far up their ass they see daylight when they burp. They got to limit these nationwide injunctions, make it local, make it relevant, not one judge running the country from fucking D.C.
Shannon, what can they effectively accomplish in Congress Or is this question better served by the U.S. Supreme Court, do you think?
It's really a question of who's going to get to it first. Lawmakers do have some say in this, and what they could do potentially with legislation is say you can only issue an injunction as a district court judge, one of those hundreds, if it applies to the parties before you. So it would just be the parties to the case. Or maybe they could say it will only apply within the district in which you serve, so that a single district judge cannot do this nationwide. Those are potentially some of the contours of legislation. But the Supreme Court, as we've talked about, you guys, there are numerous justices who have called this practice into question, both Republican appointees and Justice Kagan, a Democrat nominee. So who gets to it first, the court or Capitol Hill? I don't know, but it seems like they're ready to finally get to this question of these nationwide injunctions.
And let's not forget Trump's post. Statistically impossible, my ass. It's rigged. Trump's right. These cases get funneled to the same biased fucking judge every fucking time. And the fake fucking media, they shrug. No big deal.
Then they got this clown talking about setting up a shadow fucking government. What the fuck is that? We're doing Star Wars now? We're going to have a fucking Death Star over D.C.?
We see one of the first things they do is try and restrict the vote. This is one of the things, though, that this is going to take power to the streets. I don't know what the answer is on this, but I've been saying this. I think we need a shadow government, so when all these things come up every single day, we've got an alternate press conference telling the truth about what things are happening, telling what's going on.
They already got a shadow government. It's called CNN, MSNBC, the whole fucking fake news circus, all parroting the same damn lies.
And what about Kristi Noem standing in El Salvador in front of all those shirtless fucking gangbangers? Lefties are losing their fucking minds, like she stood in front of a concentration camp wearing Gucci.
Here at ckin today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face.
And she's doing her job, showing what happens when you come into this country and fuck around. But oh no, her watch costs 60 grand? Boo fucking who? Like Pelosi don't got ice cream worth that much. Plus, these fuckers got played and they believe that shit. Her watch don't cost 60 grand? She's not that fucking stupid to go down there wearing anything that expensive. Vinny here found out that she was wearing a fucking $200 fake. That goes to show you how fucking stupid these demo rats are.
Exactly, Vinny. They care more about gangbangers than they do our own fucking vets. And now these fucking clowns on the fake news calling her a Nazi. I mean, come the fuck on.
I think that Democrats have a real opportunity here, in part because the Trump administration is really overplaying their hand. You're right that Democrats want to deport illegal immigrants and support that. They don't support people with legal visas getting disappeared off the streets, or Kristi Noem standing in front of prisoners in very uncomfortable, like Nazi-style ideology. So I think Republicans are overplaying their hand.
Nazi-style ideology? She was standing in front of a prison in El Salvador with hardened criminals behind
That picture with all those men shirtless behind her was one of the most offensive things as someone who has spent my entire life studying this.
The Democrats trying to slur over Nazis.
It's not a slur, Larry. That imagery was one of the most offensive things I've ever seen.
You do realize she was sitting in a prison in El Salvador?
Why does she have to stand in front of it?
You don't like the optics? How about the optics of citizens getting stabbed in the fucking street by people who shouldn't be here?
And now we're supposed to believe ICE is some secret fucking Gestapo? They're doing their fucking job, rounding up MS-13, not fucking Sunday school kids.
The reason you should care is because you might be next. Based on what you look like, based on the color of your skin, based on the tattoo, the God you worship, you might be next. I mean, a suspension of due process where a government walks into, as you said, Alicia, to a place of worship or to a school or to a community or to, let's say, an ethnic restaurant and decide, hey, we don't like the way you look, we're going to round you up. You might be next. You might be a U.S. citizen, but you could be next.
And let's talk about Trump's wins. That MS-13 boss they caught 30 minutes from D.C., that ain't luck. That's fucking results, baby. That's what happens when you let people do their fucking jobs.
You ask why they're so effective? Because Trump ain't afraid to fucking clean house. He's got Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Border Patrol, all of them moving like fucking Terminators.
We let these fucking animals in, now we're cleaning up the mess. And these judges try to block it? That's obstruction of fucking justice.
And RFK Jr., he's starting to wise up too, making real changes to HHS if he gets the chance. Guy might be late to the party, but at least he's bringing a fucking cake.
So yeah, we ain't letting this shit slide, Lester. Not on our watch. Every clip, Every word. They're all getting exposed.
Damn right this ain't just a segment, Vinny. This is a fucking wake-up call. Now, a big shout-out to Chris Dallas for another incredible script. Hands down, the best scriptwriter on the internet. If you enjoy this segment, support the channel. We tell it like it is. No filters, no fluff. We do this because we love it, not for a paycheck. When we use profanity, YouTube doesn't pay us a dime. That's the truth. While other channels play it safe for ad money, we go raw because the truth deserves to be heard the way real people talk. So hit that like button, drop a comment, because we reply on YouTube only, though. Share it and subscribe if you want more news that actually sounds like the world you live in. This is how it should all be told. Vinny and Lester are out of here.